And that's probably why I don't have that many viewers on YouTube. Hey guys, we're back for another Vlogmas.
Merry Vlogmas!
Sit down. Today we're going to talk about some of the very best presents that we received / experienced throughout our lives for Christmases.
There are a lot of them. A lot! There are a lot of different Christmases that we've experienced. I think the way I was going to do this is just kind of start from as young as I can remember now. When I was a kid, I lived out in California, and just to be fair, I don't remember a lot of my California Christmases. I don't know if that's spotty memory or just as you get older you remember less from your childhood, but when we did move back southeast is about where I started remembering. I mean, I remember being in California, but not necessarily the specifics of Christmas. So, the very first thing that I remember getting was a Super Nintendo. And this is something I do remember from California. When we were in California, I wanted a Nintendo, and I didn't get it. And I think it was one of those things about when you're a kid and you have to move. You're already going through like a big change and stuff, and your parents just want to do what they can to help you out. I don't think they really wanted for me to have video games. Can't say I don't blame them, but it actually turned out something that everybody in the family played with, and it was a real good time. So I got a Super Nintendo, played a little Mario Kart, a little Mortal Kombat here and there. It was fun times. So that was the very first thing I remember getting and was really excited about.
Well, I do have memories from when I was a little girl, and I could touch on something that I received during a Christmas similar to yours, because I think I did receive a Game Boy, but my birthday is in December, so it kind of gets muddled in with some of the Christmas stuff when it comes to gifts that are more just materialistic kind of gifts like that. Although I was like super stoked over the Game Boy, but one of my earliest memories is of a little girl and getting strawberry shortcake as a doll. And I remember seeing strawberry shortcake and being like, oh my gosh, I got strawberry shortcake. But then it didn't stop there. I actually got the other dolls too. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know there was like a blueberry doll. And I don't remember the names of the dolls now, but then it didn't stop there. There was the big strawberry shaped house. And it all smelled like, you know, if any of you out there had strawberry shortcake, you remember the smell, like the plastic of the dolls just, it was just so great. It was like scratch and sniff stickers, and there were like so many of those too. And speaking of which, I also did get a really cool sticker book with, you know, the scratch and sniff stickers and the puffy stickers, and that's one of my like first memories when I was a little girl. That was just better than a Barbie doll.
That is fantastic. Kind of continuing on in my fun time video game trend, not many years after that, the Nintendo 64 came out, and a lot of different console systems, new ones were coming out. And I had a list for my parents. It had like 3 or 4 different consoles on them. I mean, I think they really started to regret the video game decision at that point. And all of these games I wanted, and my mom used to come to me in August and say like, hey, like, get your list together, like, we need to know now. And I'm like, I don't know how to make a decision. I'm gonna change my mind 8 times between now and then. Now I understand. But at the time, I think I just told her, you know, I want a Nintendo 64, and these are the games I want with it. I want GoldenEye and NFL Blitz. And this was the first time that I think I was old enough. And a few years earlier, my sister and I had gone into a closet and found a bunch of this stuff that we were gonna get, and really ruined Christmas for us. So my parents kind of wised up, and they had...
They give away too many secrets.
Well,
it's a family channel.
Well, this was, I mean, I had all sorts of stuff from Santa, but this was one that I asked specifically from my parents. And what they did is they took the system out of the box and put it in a different size box, because they knew I knew exactly. We used to go to Toys R Us and I would just stare at this console, and I knew what the box looked like. So they took it out and put it, like, wrapped it in this other box. And I spent all of Christmas just looking sad and looking for my box. And they had this one box hidden behind the tree. Santa had moved some stuff so it could be there in the back. And yeah, at the very end, my dad's like, go check out that last box, that one's yours. And I just looked all sad, and I went and got it, and I popped it open, and I was opening it, and I could just see the pieces of the console, and I was just out of my mind excited. Just greatest Christmas ever. I still give them credit for pulling that off. I guess I just gave myself away in case that ever happens in the future, but it was great at the time, and I was just over the moon about it. What else you got?
My parents definitely conspired with Santa Claus to make that happen too for me. There were some Christmases where in the bottom of my stocking I would get like a ring, like a nice, like, I wore nothing but gold back then. Now I'm like white gold, silver, platinum, but back then it was all about 14 karat, 18 karat gold. And so I remember that I wanted, I'm pretty sure that was in the stocking, a pink ice ring, back when pink ice was a thing, ladies. And it was a heart-shaped pink ice, and you know, had the little thing over it. And what's really sad is like 2 days after Christmas, I was riding my new bicycle, my new Western Flyer. That was also one of the best Christmas presents I ever received, with shining like hubcaps on it. It was like bright baby blue, and it was kind of hidden under a bunch of stuff that was just draped over it. But I was trying to learn how to ride it and lost the stone out of my pink ice ring. And they looked everywhere for it and couldn't find it. But my parents got me another one, but it wasn't the same design. They couldn't find that one, so I was always sad about it. And in my jewelry box, I actually still have the actual empty ring from the pink ice ring.
Wow, I didn't even know. Who knows? Maybe one day that pink ice ring will get filled up again. And
now I hate pink, but I loved it back then.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. One of the other ones from when I was a kid that it was just really weird thing that maybe not weird, but anyhow, when I was a kid, like I said, we lived in California and we moved back to the Southeast. My dad was a huge sports fan, and he switched home teams on me, and I never understood it, and it really threw me for a loop the rest of my life. And I just started finding new teams to latch onto. And for a long time, I was a really big Denver Broncos fan. I think it's because my mom had a crush on John Elway. She used to tease my dad about it, and it bothered him. So I think that kind of helped, because my dad switching those home teams messed me up, man. So it was kind of funny to see him squirm a little bit about that. He still does whenever she brings up that cute old John Elway. But anyhow, I just became a really big Broncos fan, and I had asked for a Broncos starter jacket. And this is someone trying to find a team from Denver in the Southeast. I mean, Santa works miracles, but like, you know, I don't know how he can pluck stuff from here and here, but somehow they made it happen. The fashions back then too, like they wore them really big, and they got me this real nice big Broncos coat that I was able to wear until I was an adult, and pretty much wore until I switched footballs. And it was a big deal that year because I got that coat and they went in the playoffs, and that was the first year they won the Super Bowl. So I mean, it solidified it for me, and loved that coat. Speaking
of coats, one of my favorite Christmas gifts I ever got was a leather jacket. And I think it was in 6th grade, and I was always super, super tiny. So I couldn't wear like size small in women's like some of the other girls could wear small in women's by then. I was always super tiny. And back then when I was in 6th grade, there wasn't that much of like juniors sizes. It was like, here's the kid sizes, and these like special items are only in adults, and there's a small and extra small, but all of that was too big for me still. Well, smalls were. And we were in a really small town, and this is like pre-internet, and you know, you couldn't just go in there like I do now and just go on Amazon or like just a search engine and find it wherever it is for free shipping, you know? So in small town, there weren't like very many stores. My parents had to drive a long ways away to go shop for Christmas. They had to like, you know, I didn't really stay with babysitters that much at that age, and you know, they weren't gonna leave me home alone to go do that. So it was like a really big deal, but somehow they couldn't find like a just plain brown leather jacket like I wanted. That was the thing back then, like those suede leather jackets, guys. in my size. So they found this other jacket that was brown leather and it had black suede on it and like this like and this like bunched up ruffle at the bottom and this little gold kind of design going over the black suede. It was freaking hideous. It was like the worst jacket. When I saw that thing, I was like so disappointed to start with that I didn't get the jacket like everybody else. And I was so upset. I wanted to be just like, I wanted, had the salmon libbies, like the salmon libby boots I got, like all of it. I wanted to be just like everybody else. And I was really upset, and I remember trying not to look disappointed, but I think my parents could see that I was disappointed. But I put the jacket on, it fit. They found like this extra small jacket. I think they probably had to drive like 5 hours and hit like 20 different stores to find this jacket. And this is like $100 something coat we're talking about back then. And I'm like in 6th grade. And so, not to go on and on, but it was a big deal because we got dressed to go to grandma's. That's what we did every Christmas. And my cousins are all there and they all have their brown leather jackets because they were all bigger than me. And here I am in this jacket that I thought was hideous, right? And they're all like, oh, that's different, But I was like, you act confident until you feel that way. And I'm like, yeah, my jacket's not like yours. Anyway, it is one of my favorite, most memorable Christmas presents now looking back because it started a trajectory for my life after that point, which was didn't want to be like anybody else or have the things that anybody else has, and just wanted to be different. And that's probably why I don't have that many viewers on YouTube. I should probably get over that. But if my parents are watching, which are probably some of the only people that are, that's why I'm so different. My mom says I'm difficult, but y'all did it. You started it. But thanks for that. I appreciate the effort like that took.
It's fantastic. Funny thing about clothes and Christmas is that I think for kids there's like a cutoff point. Like for so long I didn't want clothes, and there became a point where that was the only thing I really wanted was clothes. And I bring it up because my aunt and uncle used to always get me a pack of white tube socks every single Christmas.
You hate tube socks.
I hate tube socks. It's sewn in at the bottom and it's all on your toes and you can't get comfortable. There's no heel. I can't find tube socks anymore. I don't even know where they sell them. And I think that's wise. People like me got up in the world and was like, we're gonna stop making this a thing. Like, you need a heel, you need a toe. Socks go one way, you wash them, you'll be fine. But I do remember very specifically somewhere in my mid-20s where I went to family Christmas and I was outside of the age where your aunts and uncles are still sending you Christmas presents, and I got clothes and I got home and I was like, man, I need some socks. And for all those years I didn't want them. That one year I was like, God, this would have been it. This would have been the year to have a 6-pack of white tube socks. So the tube socks, I wasn't a fan, but like really understand their purpose at some point. So thank you for all the years of tube socks.
On that note, I did get a lot of clothes that I loved. Most of those I picked out and my mom bought in later years.
It's so true. No, it's so true.
But hold on. One of my favorite gifts that I have to remember to say right now, I'm thinking about clothes that I still own and I still use and I still wear, and I just we just had this crazy 100-year flood a couple years ago, and I used them then, and I pulled them out and used them during this crazy snowstorm we had last winter, and that is a pair of black rubber boots. Now I know all the people out there now, they're little Hunter boots. I guess that's the brand. I wouldn't know anything about it. I don't own any. I own a $6 or $8 pair from 20 years ago from Walmart that my dad bought me. and wrapped under the tree. And it was his, you know, you have Santa and you have your gifts from your mom and dad, and this was a special gift just from my daddy. And I always remember my granddaddy always had a pair of these same black rubber boots, and they always were by the back door of their house. And he'd slip them on and grab that flashlight, go outside and check on things. Like, and my dad never had a pair, but for some reason he saw those and thought that I needed them, and he was right. And I still have them, and I don't have a need to buy a pair of hunter boots or rain boots because he had that foresight. He also bought me a battery charger one year and an air pump, and I still have that and use that, and it has saved me and a lot of my clients that had flat tires or emergencies with their vehicles. It has come in handy so many times.
Yeah, your parents really kill it with the practical Christmas gifts. We've got a wonderful deep freezer that has saved us.
We did request that though.
Well, hey, however it got here, it came from them.
It is one of our favorite gifts. Well, everything like that came from them. Like they're
Pots
really,
and pans,
they're
just
really good. And you know, and when they ask me what we want, I'm always like, keep it practical.
Yeah.
But my brother growing up always used to buy me stereos, and himself with his own money bought me stereos. So I always had like really great stereos and like my whole life, and those, you know, were definitely some of my favorite presents.
Yeah, I think I got
And the toys, so many
a
toys.
CD Walkman from my sister one year for Christmas because she got a stereo, and my parents got me a Weird Al Yankovic CD to go with it. Very interesting that I remember that, but it sticks out in my head every Christmas, the year I got the Weird Al CD. At some point when you get out of childhood and you're an adult and you look at like Christmases, when we were talking about it beforehand, like what recently have we gotten? And I mean, I can think of stuff from like last year that I love, but as time goes on, Christmas and birthdays and Mother's Day and Father's Day and the, hey, it's the third Tuesday of this month and I love you gifts just all start to blend in. But I think the very best Christmas gift we've ever gotten will just go down as probably the best gift we've ever had ever.
Not probably. There's no other gift, and that would be the Christmas of 2015. After the Christmas that, if any of you watch our channel and have watched our other videos, you'll see what happened to us the Christmas of 2014. So, Christmas of 2015, we had our first doctor's appointment to look at Blair when I was pregnant with her. And it was the week of Christmas. I think it was like actually on the solstice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we're back there for the ultrasound, and the doctor, we switched doctors, and she actually came in there with the sonographer to make sure, you know, because they were worried about it. And then there was Blair's heartbeat, and as soon as they like cut it on and they turned the screen on, and it's gonna make me cry, and I heard it and saw it, like we both just immediately like let out this
it was,
like year-long held, like,
yeah,
just,
it really was like a breath that like we just couldn't get.
I've just been holding,
and then finally it was like this exhale, and just all this weight. It was just, I've never felt anything else like it in my life. Like I've never felt just such relief and excitement at the same moment, and it really was the best Christmas gift we've ever got.
2 years after that, just about, we had that experience again with Brexley, and it also felt scary. Just, you know, it's like the timing of it all is just every year it brings it all back up. So definitely that has saved Christmas for me, at least, to have those 2 Christmases after that. Then I got to 3 Christmases, you know, Blair's first Christmas after, you know, when she was a baby, and then to be pregnant with her sister, and then now this Christmas will be Brexley's first one outside the womb, and
so excited as always. I mean, this, I guess a lot of people say like, oh, like you'll know when you have kids, and you hate that person when you're single, but then you have the kids, and then you get to watch their excitement and how much
it's like a whole different meaning.
It really is. And that's part of what's cool about this, is that we're sitting here reliving our best Christmas gifts and moments, and soon enough, like, we'll be a part in creating theirs, and that's probably the most exciting thing about all of this.
And on that note, we'll let you go create your Christmas memories.
Yeah.
But no.
Seriously hope you're not like sitting here watching this trying to make it through the holidays and we're like, go make Christmas memories. What are you doing?
Alright guys, if you made it this far and you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what are some of the best Christmas gifts that you ever got. Maybe even some of them that you didn't appreciate at the time but you grew to appreciate later. Comment down below and let us know. We'll see you next time.
Merry Vlogmas, everybody.
Subscribe. Bye.